It is the Taurus full moon. I decided to come up to the mountains and go for a nice little hike, do some journaling. I've been feeling really ungrounded with this Mars opposite Uranus transit. And this full moon is hitting me in my first house. So yeah, it was very necessary to come up here. And I did get a selfie stick tripod thing. I'm just sitting in the back of my car. I'm about to just journal. I just went on a nice hike. I really needed to be off my screens this morning. I've just been feeling really overwhelmed, like super overwhelmed. It's very windy. I don't even know if you can hear me. I hope that you can. But yeah, I'm just gonna be journaling. Then I'm gonna go on another little walk, and I'm pretty upset that the sun's starting to go down at 5. Sometimes it's really nice, you know, I do like a nice cozy time inside, you know, whenever it's getting dark and the weather's starting to get more cool. I'm not really much of a winter girl, but I can appreciate it from time to time. Sometimes like it does feel really nice and cozy. But I will admit that my mood gets really impacted by cold, dark weather. So I'm trying to spend as much time as I can when it feels good outside. It's actually like 65. I don't even really need my coat, but yeah, it's a good time. I'm really excited to be doing the things that I'm doing. I've always wanted to vlog, take people around. I've gone on so many adventures. I'm going back into my Saturn return briefly coming up, and that's pretty significant for me. I will say that I'm still getting used to this new period in my life. I've always wanted to get here, like this has been my dream. Posting about astrology and being a full-time astrologer, this is like literally a dream come true. This has happened for me so fast. Like I got 17,000 followers within a few months, and that is amazing and beautiful, and I'm so thankful that it's happened. But my nervous system is still adjusting to keeping up with this pace, and I'm really excited. I want to keep growing, of course, and I want to add many different layers to this beautiful opportunity that's been given to me. So that's kind of the point here today. I'm just resetting my nervous system because I feel like I've been just like not in the best mental space. You know, I'm trying to find a nice work-life balance, especially working for myself. You know, I've got to find that structure, and I feel like that's really what's happening for a lot of Aries placements and Taurus placements. So I am an Aries, you know, so I'm learning to create consistency in my life while also knowing that I deserve downtime to regulate my nervous system. And that, yeah, that's really what it's about. So yeah. This is one of my favorite walks that I go on whenever I come up here. Look how beautiful these are. Since I can't be in Asheville, this trail is about an hour and a half away from me in Virginia, so I come up here whenever I can, usually on the full and new moon. And I start my cycle usually with the full or new moon, so it's kind of also to like relax my nervous system while I'm going through that process, because usually it is a time of release whenever I'm on my menstrual cycle. So like this is the most perfect place to do it. Isn't this gorgeous? And sometimes if I have a lot of client charts to work on, I will like post up around here too. Put a little camping chair, get my laptop, record on my phone. Yeah, it's a really good time. Maybe I'll take y'all with me sometime. All right, I sat on that and I swear I just felt so warm and magnetic. This is honestly amazing. Let's look at it. I'm just gonna sit on this thing for a while. I just feel like all this warm magnetic energy coming up through my body, and it feels really amazing. So you know, I've been really stressed this week, and it's because I guess I've been feeling a little bit burnt out. I have so much pressure on myself because I guess it is like busy season astrology wise, with Mercury retrograde, Uranus, all this stuff going on. So I put a lot of pressure on myself, but I realized that I put out my best content whenever I am having fun and I'm, just in my element. Because I've been watching a lot of content where people are like, you have to create like constantly, keep yourself to a strict schedule. If you're an entrepreneur, you need to be working at it 24/7. But I'm finding that when I do that, I actually get really burnt out and my content isn't, the best, because I think people can really tell when I'm not fully there and I'm not fully feeling it. And a lot of it, like my allergies have been horrible. So I think that really shows through my content sometimes. I live in a horrible area for allergies. But also, I think that it's really important for us to find that nice balance, because I want to live in a reality where my abundance comes so easily to me. It comes whenever I have a relaxed nervous system, and it's necessary for me to take time out of my work week to come be here by the stream. This is just as important as, working your 9 to 5, working my, what a 9 to 5 is to me. This is very necessary for me to create the kind of work that resonates with others, that uplifts others. I wouldn't be able to do that work if I didn't have these days where I recharge, because I'm telling you, I've been sitting with a lot of anxiety this past week, and I'm here and I'm just allowing myself to be creative and not really focus on all the things that I have to do, and everything feels so much lighter now, and I think I can create from a higher frequency as a result. And that's ultimately what you want to do. Okay, that's ultimately what you want to do. But I grew up with a family that really instilled the idea that you work no matter what. You work if you have strep throat, you work if you have broken ribs, you work your ass to the bone. And I don't want to live in that paradigm, okay? That was my thought process up until this past year, and it really never got me anywhere. If anything, it got me burnt out multiple times. So why not? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, we have such a short amount of time here on earth. Why don't we get to experience it and live it? Why do we work so hard just so that we can experience it one day when we're not even promised tomorrow? I had a couple of near-death experiences the past few years, and that's really changed my perspective on a lot of things. And, I can get into that later. But I think that this is really what's important. And if nature's not your cup of tea, it's whatever brings you absolute joy and puts you in the present moment. And for me, it is absolutely being out here. I could do this all day and every day. Why can't this be my full-time job? taking you all with me on my little adventures. The sun is starting to go down now. It's not even 4 p.m. yet, so it makes me a little sad. My phone is also about to die, so I don't want to leave you hanging if that's the case. But not a bad day, and I was crashing out this morning, so I feel so relieved. So if you find yourself also crashing out, as you know is likely to happen right now, and you like nature, I highly recommend just spending the day. Drop everything, even if you're super busy, and prioritize it, because this is ultimately what's gonna reset you so that you can perform your absolute best, okay? I guarantee when I get home tonight, I'm already feeling inspired, but I feel all the inspiration just starting to ooze out of me. And you know, as a business owner now, I am trying to get to a point where I'm super consistent with my output. I'm trying to find my rhythm, my balance, because I've always been a procrastinator. I've always been someone who puts things off until the last minute. I work under pressure, all or nothing, and that's a big theme that's coming up with this Taurus moon for me. Because yeah, this is falling in my first house, but Mercury is also stationing retrograde this weekend, and that's going to impact my 8th house, well, 7th and 8th house actually. You know, finding that home life balance. Jupiter is on my IC right now, opposing my midheaven too, so it's kind of like slow down and figure out what's gonna work out for you in the long term, okay? You can't keep doing this all or nothing energy that, you know, a lot of Aries, we have that. You know, find a plan, stick to it. Stick to your plan. Carry out the things that you know, the promises that you make to yourself, even if it's not showing immediate results. All right, and maybe some of y'all can learn that too. You know, just some gems and wisdom from yours truly, a 12th house Mercury babe. Y'all have to have a lot of patience to hear me talk. I tell you what, I go in circles. This is one of my favorite places to come to. I live about an hour and a half from here, but whenever I want to do readings for people, I usually set up shop over here, right by the mountains. How gorgeous is this? Gotta feel my balance. Oh my God. This is why I'm alive. The background is being finicky, but yeah. This has been the Taurus full moon day. I'm still getting used to vlogging. I'm very excited about this adventure. I know I keep talking about it, but it's an exciting thing to talk about, okay? Let's not ignore what it is I'm doing. But I go on adventures like this all of the time, and I'm just so excited to have some type of medium where I can share that with other people. Because yes, I love astrology, and I'm so glad I can incorporate this with that. But I also love traveling and adventuring and rock and roll, of course. But this is like a big part of who I am. And I would not be who I am today if it wasn't for these mountains, if it was not for Appalachia, if it was not for the sunsets, okay? Like this is my home. Even if I want to move from time to time, this is where I get anchored. This is how I regulate my nervous system. This is just so stunning, and I'm so appreciative that I get to be here and come here whenever I want to. If I wanted to, I could get up and watch the sunrise right here. And I find that so fascinating. I'm obsessed and I'm in love with it. You know? Yeah. I'm amazed.